Hello and welcome to the latest episode of Brawl Talk. My name is Ryan. I'm the community manager for Brawl Stars, and I am here at the office in Helsinki, Finland. Behind me is the Brawl Stars team. They're hard at work on the next update, and I want to apologize in advance for not getting a studio and not having guests on the Brawl Talk. I wanted to get this video out to you guys as soon as I possibly could, so I grabbed my laptop and started recording. In this video, I want to go over a couple things. First and foremost, we did a Q&A about a week ago, a little more, and you guys asked a ton of fantastic questions, and we answered them as best as we could. I want to go over the questions you didn't ask. On Reddit, you upvoted your favorite questions, and you missed some of the coolest ones. For example, when is the update? What's in it, and what's coming? That's a huge question that didn't get voted on, so I wanted to make this video and tell you a little more about that. In addition, I'm going to go over a couple more things from the Q&A and go a little more in depth on stuff that we talked about. So let's get into it. First and foremost, will tap to shoot make a return? I would say almost definitely not. When we first switched to landscape, we tried out tap to shoot, and it was really awkward. It was very hard to hold the phone, and you would hold the phone with the left and have to tap with the right. You would cover up the whole screen. It didn't work very well at all. So unless we can think of some creative solutions to that, it's almost definitely not making a return. Next, a big one, when is the update? We're hoping to get it out in May, which means hopefully in the next couple weeks. Of course, things can get delayed. We might find some bugs, who knows? But again, we're hoping for this month. Next, I want to talk a little more in depth about the change from portrait to landscape and auto aim and all that kind of stuff. We've covered this a couple times before, but I want to go a little more in depth in our answers. So, the key thing is that while we were in portrait mode, we found that not enough players were sticking with the game early on. So we had to make a change. And I want to remind everybody that we're in soft launch now. So our goals for Brawl Stars right now are to change the game, to test it, to experiment, to try new things. Our goals are not to deliver lots of exciting and new content for veteran players. I know that sucks to hear, but the key right now is to build the foundation so that we can make a global launch decision. That's what we're focused on. We want to get to global, and we got to make the changes in order to get us there. So, on portrait to landscape, a lot of you on Reddit and everywhere else are kind of going back and forth, the pros and cons with portrait and landscape, and asking us why we made that change. And I want to make it really clear that our decision was not portrait or landscape. Our decision was landscape or kill. So when you put it in those terms, the answer is very clear. And I want to say that one more time. Our decision was landscape or kill the game. And to us, that was a really obvious answer. We had to try something new, and landscape felt right. We switched it, we tried it, and we did see improvements. So we're going to stick with that, and we're not going to go back to portrait because we're seeing improvements. And for early game retention, it's been definitely beneficial. And again, I want to talk a little more about why we're focusing on the early game. In the Q&A, I talked a little bit about kind of a metaphor of having an island with a bunch of cool stuff on it. So we've got sand castles and a water park and all this kind of stuff. And we brought over 50 people to try it out. And a few people went to the island. They loved the water park. They loved the sand castles. But not that many went. So we're having to make some changes now. We're switching the water park to a zoo. We're changing the sand castles to surfboards. And all of you already on the beach are saying, what the heck are you doing? We love this stuff. Why are you changing it? The problem is there aren't enough of you there on the beach. We want to get the whole world over there. So we've got to bring in new and different stuff to get people there. And I know that stinks to hear for the veteran players who really loved the old controls, but this is a necessary step in getting us to a global launch decision. So, with those out of the way, let's talk about the next update. Now, this is the exciting stuff. And I'm so surprised you guys didn't ask about it in the Q&A. But let's dive in. So we've got a ton of stuff in this update for both old and new players. First and foremost, we've got 2 new brawlers coming. We're testing them out now, and they are really, really fun. We've also got 2 new game modes, or maybe I should say tweaks to a couple existing game modes. First of all, Heist 2.0. Now, we're replacing the old Heist with this, and how this will work is basically the same, except there will be 2 safes. Each side will have their own safe. the maps will be symmetrical, and the first team to destroy the safe wins. It's really, really fun. We've been testing this out a lot, and we think it's a huge improvement on Heist. You guys are going to love it. Next, we have a new game mode, Showdown 2.0. This is not replacing Showdown. This will be an additional game mode, and how this will work is you'll have 2v2, v2, v2, v2. So 5 teams of 2, you'll go out with your partner and try to dominate the battlefield. Again, this is super duper fun, and you guys are going to love it. Next, we've got something for those of you who are free-to-play players. We've been thinking, how can we make it easier for you guys to progress quickly? And one solution we came up with is after a battle, you can collect your reward and go along like normal, or you can choose to double your rewards and watch a quick ad. This way, those of you who aren't too keen on spending money can watch an ad, double your rewards. And again, if you're not interested in that, you can just collect your reward and move on. It's not invasive or anything. Next, we're changing up how you get keys out of the game mode. So previously, if you want to collect all your keys, you would have to play all of the available game modes, right? So now we're going to have a global key bar, and what that means is you can play any one of the game modes the whole way through. So if you love Showdown, you can keep playing Showdown and collect all your keys in that game mode. And this key bar will expand over time, and you'll be able to play whatever game mode you want out of the available ones. And that should be really nice for those of you who have favorite game modes there and only want to pick that one. Of course, you can keep playing all the game modes if you like. Another big feature coming is an auto-aim nerf. So what we're doing is, and really you guys should try this out because it feels like a bigger nerf than it is, but how this will work is you can no longer kind of just spam auto-aim. It will always shoot even if it doesn't have a target. So if you're walking into some bushes and you're kind of spamming that button to try and get anybody hiding, that won't work because you'll just waste all your ammo. We're also experimenting with a small delay in auto-aim, 50 milliseconds or something, so that when you hit it, there's a quick delay there, which should make it a little bit less superhuman reaction speeds. We're not sure if that'll get into the update because it feels a little weird now, but we're still tweaking that. Next, this is a big one too, you guys have been requesting this forever, is spectate mode. That is coming in the update too, so you will be able to watch your friends, watch games, watch the pros, and it is a lot of fun. It's really nice to be able to see how the pros are playing and watch your buddies when they're in a game before you can get in there with them. Next, we have a ton of social features. You'll be able to add friends now, and you'll be able to play. If you enter random matchmaking, you will have a play again button. So if you find a team out there who you really like and you're jiving with, you can play again with them in matchmaking, which is really, really nice. Finally, we're going to do some tweaks to the trophy progression system. So what this means is we're going to have trophy milestone rewards. When you reach, say, 100 trophies, you can get a guaranteed brawler. So this is going to take away a little bit of the randomness, and you'll have really clear goals that you can definitely achieve when you reach those milestones. So we've put a few brawlers in there right now, which means they'll be taken out of the brawl boxes and put into this trophy progression system. So that'll give you a guaranteed goal to strive for when you're pushing your trophies. And we're going to have a lot more fixes, a lot of quality of life changes. Keep an eye out for the patch notes, and we will have more info for you soon. And we will see you in the update.